Being a great strategist is not just about picking the right heroes, it's about making the right decisions at the right time. This is Maffins, a strategist main who plays Mantis, Rocket, and Luna, but is he truly maximizing their potential? Let's find out. Without further ado, let's check out Maffins here. Again, this is on Luna. I'm sure I'll still be able to give some input, but I am not a support main. And as you could see in my Invisible Woman guide, there's some things that could be improved on the support side of things for me still, but I mean, there's always going to be something we can say. Always something we can see. I want to say nothing really stands out in the comp other than the fact that they have Mantis, and on their side, they have a Mantis and they have a Rocket. Rocket can be good because they have a Winter Soldier, but when you combine Mantis and Rocket, you kind of have like two half healers, so I could see there's going to be a little bit of... I'm going to guess there's going to be a lacking heals here. Also, what the hell is this crosshair, man? What am I watching? I hope I didn't get it from my videos. We can write down. Let's go for a notepad here on the side. Mantis plus Rocket, lacking healing. Like Clintor, you can really hold them out if you just do a good job. Lacking healing, only one supportive ult. And what the fuck is that crosshair, right? You can't really see what you're shooting. Maybe he has a colorblind issue or something, but like this is... Mantis is supposed to be a high accuracy character. How are you supposed to have high accuracy when it's like this? Also, it's surprisingly difficult to tell when it's a heal. That's a heal. How does a E look? Has he used his E at all? No, he's just healing. Which I guess makes sense because there's only one support. Maybe a little bit nitpicky, but here, when you had him spamming, you could have given the... You could have inspired Winter Soldier. Again, very nitpicky, but it would make a big difference that he gets the damage. And, you know, you're not really... You end up having 3 of these still afterwards. You healed him when he had full health. I think pre-healing can be good, especially on Mantis, but in this case, he didn't even end up needing it. So it can be worth thinking about Eing in that situation. No E yet? Okay, good thing you're here to one hella inspire. But E is the inspire. I do feel like when you're solo healing as a Mantis, you want to kind of just... Probably don't want to inspire too much. That was just a specific time. But generally speaking, I feel like you just want to make sure you heal as much as possible. Tell me if I'm wrong. As I understand it, she has like a... When you stack heals on Mantis, it's not as efficient. Like, I think you can... It stacks the first like burst of healing when you right-click them, but it doesn't stack the heal up afterwards. So ideally, assuming you don't need to burst heal one target... You just heal one at a time. Then you get the most heal for your cooldown. There you should have burst healed him, for example. Because he had... You should have burst healed him here. He could have survived. This is obviously also a problem because you have a Rocket and a Mantis. But you could have healed more. You had the heals for it. And you probably shouldn't inspire at all at this point. Unless you know there's going to be no incoming damage. And now you're minus. Hard for you to control. Good pick. You haven't used your sleep yet. I assume you're holding it. But I feel like you can be proactive with the sleep. It helps a lot. They don't have divers. So unless something weird happens, like... Yeah, like Winter Soldier could ult. But like most of these guys are just going to play in the back and poke. If one of them... Like the Strange walked up here, I believe. You could have thrown a sleep spur on him. That could make it... There's a chance maybe your Winter Soldier could have hooked him in, or your teammates could have done some damage. Like, it could have broken his stride. But you're just holding onto it for no reason. You know, this isn't League of Legends. You have no mana, no nothing. Like, if you're not holding your ability for something, you might as well just use it as soon as you can. Yeah, so it's not a bad idea to inspire here. They just don't do anything with it, but like, this is fine. A bit of a lull here. Maybe nitpicky, maybe try to make sure you have like at least 3 of these ready to go if you're gonna be inspiring, just in case. Because I only have 1, but I think it depends on like you know how the game feels. I feel like your sensitivity might be too high as well, to say for sure. I think this ult might be nitpicky. Ult might be a bit early, but at least you did get a sleep off. That's nice. You felt the pressure come in, you ulted. I see why you did that. Very good ult from him. This is... Okay, nitpick time. Something you could have done here. So obviously ult came a bit, maybe a little bit too early. Like they were putting the pressure up, but your teammates are really high health still. Maybe you felt like they were going to get blown up.
You thought we were gonna get blown up, so you kind of like, okay, let's just pop the ultimate early here just in case. Which is not a bad, like in solo queue, you never know, right, what people are gonna do. Here, though, is something concerning, which is that this is also probably like, you could say it's because of your crosshair. I can barely see anything because of your crosshair. You have 4 people. Your strange ulted 4 people, and you didn't hit a single one. You have an ability. You have none of these left. You have an ability that literally gives you additional healing every headshot you hit, and you don't shoot a single one of the guys that stand still. You would kill them. You could even power yourself up and shoot them, and you would get full stacks. Just heal. I don't know how forgiving this is. Maybe you can shoot and just hold right click. I don't know. But just not shooting them is such a waste. You could 100% make something happen here. If at the very least 1 kill. And now we don't have a defensive ultimate. That comes down to the fact, obviously you have a rocket and a mantis, but you also use your ultimate very early. But they're punishing that right now. With that, both the Winter Soldier and the Groot ult. The Groot ult was a bit unnecessary, but the Winter Soldier definitely is. Also, I haven't tested this in theory. I think you can sleep him right here. Again, maybe nitpicking. It's a micro call thing. You know where he's gonna land when he comes in. He's always at this height. So if you just like, you know, get the ground, maybe like get him. I'm not sure about the range though. So don't quote me on that. And then you die. Oh, that's right though. What was it? Waste the ultimate a bit early. Didn't shoot enemies by strange. Perhaps bad focus. By the eye of I like that. Let's go back though 1 sec. Yeah, this is also like you're not hitting headshots and you don't have stacks, so you can't heal them up and you just kind of... You can't get the pressure up. This came in late, but it was still a good freeze, I think. So I believe I got hooked. Still very good. It's worked out. Thanks to the Winter Soldier going huge. Just a notice, what you can do in Winter Soldier is you can E him and right click. Just a bit of a tip. Makes a big difference. Because obviously staying far back on high ground does open up for like flankers. But obviously they didn't have flankers, so it makes sense. Positioning yourself after what your enemy has and how they're playing is huge. If they're not gonna punish something, you might as well do it. I do like that. I really like the sleeps. We mentioned it earlier in the game. There's more sleeps coming out. They will lead to more damage. Maybe your teammates can follow up on it. It's nice to see. Not a bad idea to ult here. This is probably like at the perfect timing, I feel like. Very distinct lack of APM here. Wait, can I lower this? Here. Yeah, he didn't have his shift, but... Right? Like, I think backing off is fine, but you just did nothing there. You just walked back with your ultimate. I don't know if I don't think it picks up on comms in this, does it? Probably not. That's a nice sleep.
I will not be controlled.
It's dangerous because of that wall. I hate going to this side because of it. Okay, I guess it didn't work. I was wrong. You tried it. Let's check out your other one you sent me instead. So, let's see the comps. This woman and Rocket is better. At least you have a little bit more heals. Enemy team has Cloak, Luna, more heals, 2 defensive ultimates. Oh, you do have a different crosser here, so I guess you have different crosser for Mantis and a different for Rocket.
Soon.
Okay.
Those guys are about to shoot at us.
Looking for a BRB. I feel like you could have just climbed up here. You just wanted to get up on the height. Like, again, this didn't come back to bite you, but you could easily just have climbed here, and then... Because you don't have your shift on cooldown, so, like, let's say there was a flanker here, you would have been dead. Just a small thing. It's probably something we'll see coming back a lot. Just, like, being able to... You know, it's a... Your double dash is really good. It's a good way to stay alive, but you can still run on walls. So, like, you're better off having the dash ready to go. I like the way you're progressively moving up, taking space here behind your tanks. I like the BRB. The heal spam is good. Okay, you can spam heals here. One of the great things about Rocket is that you can spam heals over range. When you were sitting here on your point, you could have been shooting rockets, the balls. You could have been shooting the balls. I can see my mouse. Could have been shooting the balls here, and they would have bounced here, I think. Like, you should just be constantly spamming. It's a little bit like with the Mantis. Just, you gotta up your APM. And in this case, there's nobody here. There's no reason not to do it. And potentially Hulk could have survived here. I mean, you already lost this fight. I'm not gonna mention it anymore. I do want to say, it's a bit weird because you don't have anyone to combo with, but you've had 2 ultimates worth of ultimates right now. I was thinking about it when you were like really pushed up. It's just like you had 1 minus, but if you would have popped your ultimate at like, and this is in retrospect, I was thinking it, but I wasn't like entirely sure because I don't play the hero that much, but you had the ult first of everyone. You built it super fast, and you've been holding on to it for like 3 minutes. You would have had another one by now, even if it's like suboptimal. Like just to win up, just to tip the scales in your favor. What is that? 20% damage boost? That's not insignificant. You had a really close fight here when you were really pushed up. If you would have ulted there, maybe your teammates could have clutched up and killed the enemies. Instead, it kind of became a stalemate. They went back. You ran back to the point. You didn't heal your Hulk, and then you lost the fight there. So you could have, like, when you're snowballing. Like, or when you're, like, in a winning position, it's just about keeping that snowball going for as much as possible, because it would cost them more to stop the snowball than it will cost you to continue the snowball in most cases. And especially when you have an ultimate that you build so fast, you might as well use it, especially because you don't have a real combo. You have a magic, you have a Black Panther, they can turn on a dime and make something happen. Strange can make something happen, Hulk can make something, like, you know, you don't have, like, let's say, Star-Lord or Punisher or something like that you, like, is a clear combo. Just use it to continue the winning brawls would be my bet here with your ultimate. And this is a full reset situation. You shouldn't be walking up here. Just go for a full reset. This is really bad. This is really bad, I think. If you somehow turn this, that will not change my opinion that this was a bad decision. This worked out. This was not a good reset here. It got very, like, they could have gone either way, and if they got like 1 more pick or your teammates didn't step up here, you would have lost that, and they would have lost like 30 seconds or something. Wait for the reset. It worked out in his favor, which was good, I guess. Maybe that's, you know, you had the vibe, you're the one playing, but that's from what I'm seeing. You could have just waited, come out at 6 as well. Sorry, my brain is fried today. This morning. I wonder if you could just play even farther back. Do we have any Rocketeers in the chat? I feel like he could play even... He doesn't even have to play there. All he's doing is... If he's just heal botting, he might as well just be like all the way in the back. He could have been here the whole time, and he wouldn't have to dash out of the way. Invis Woman has to be closer because she has a shorter range and a like wider kit. But you as a Rocket, like, just sit back and plant up heals. Obviously, don't sit too far back. You're gonna get dove, and then you just dash back into the team if necessary. But you're a little bit... You were a little bit forward there. I think pre-healing here is smart, right? Because you get the balls will just come up. Something I've done a few times I play Rocket, and I don't know if I might be overcooking it, but that's like, you're kind of spamming the balls here. Give this a try. Instead of just spamming your balls, think a little bit ahead. What you could be doing is you, like, instead of just putting your balls to just go straight, like, it's good to do this because it gives them heals. But if you know you're fine, something you can occasionally do, and you could have potentially done it here, is put your balls on walls a little bit. This is something I'd have to play a ton of Rocket to tell you exactly where you can do it. But you want your balls just to be like in this area. By shooting this way, they're gonna bounce into their spawn and be useless. But if you bounce them on this wall here, they would bounce like this and like back there. If you bounce them here, they bounce like this, and I don't know the angle exactly. The point is you want them to keep bouncing in this area as it will be like a passive heal, rather than just flying straight out into the open. Just something to be mindful of when you do shoot your balls.
This is real firepower.
Also, I have not seen you use your passive. Oh, okay, there it is.
On our way with the statue of Beth.
I like this again. You're pre-firing, like you're just putting heals deep, like where the flankers are. You probably, especially when you have an invisible woman, like she can't really reach the flankers. That's very valuable. Okay, literally perfect example of what I was talking about. Look at where these balls are going. Your enemies are here. Sorry, teammates. Sorry, it's yellow. The balls are hitting back here, and then they're bouncing like here, and I don't know, going into fuck all nowhere. I don't even know where they're going. These are doing nothing. Actually, going right back to you. That one is at least. Now these are better, but just try to be mindful. I think honestly, just by adjusting the angles of your balls, you'll have a way higher like average heal rate. I think, especially when you're sitting back. Just do a little bit of math in your head, a little bit of geometry. You're gonna start healing so many more teammates. Okay, that was like a very slow reaction on that. Maybe nitpicky. You knew that was gonna happen, or I hope you would know. I hope you would know that was gonna happen. Maybe I should start telling you guys what I'm thinking, so it doesn't seem like I'm just doing 2020 hindsight. All of your teammates are inside of the ultimate, every single one, except you. So he's gonna go for you. Also, again, don't run away from your team. Just dash into the ultimate. You're fine. This is pretty smart, protecting it. Maybe you should have pinged him as well. Could have helped. It helps a lot with blind teammates.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man. You're ready for action.
Okay, have your ultimate. Magic, they gotta pick on you, magic ults, and you have a mini Hulk. So you could ult here, but it's a very bad fight. I think both would be valid. Only if you believe your teammates could turn it, which you did. If it's 40, then that's insane. It is 40.
Give them another inch.
Just how long did this go on for? How many rounds is that?
Anyone willing to help?
You're ready for action. You should show armed and
I think in general, what I'm seeing here is from watching your VOD, you should never, or rarely, avoid shooting rocket balls onto the floor. Because when you shoot on the floor, it's gonna bounce upwards and it's gonna floating around in the sky. Like, how is this helping anyone? Obviously, that guy is in the sky now, but most of the time there won't be. It's just like, be mindful of the angle.
don't mind me. I'm just dying. You're welcome.
Okay.
Shields up.
So I have some pretty valuable notes here. Let's see how defense goes. Okay, we're on Luna here on the attack.
30 seconds before you attack.
Jeff, Luna. Oh, defense, sorry. I see what you're going for. Neymar could be good there too.
Are you
Is he doing the Luna?
What can you do?
And you're defending.
That one hurts.
Always put your E on your... You have it on your flanker right now. So that's good, but do be considerate of your flyers as well, because flyers usually don't get the heals they need.
Thanks so much. A nice deep freeze. We're finding our...
I think your magic died, so you should have put your E on the Iron Man there. It would have been fine. Is that the worst position to be in ever, considering everything else?
Us against the world.
I think you can use a snowball more, just to mention. Maybe you're holding it for something, but you could use it more.
I am ready to put on
Not a bad ultimate. But now they have Luna Gap.
I am ready to put on a show.
Damage boost.
I suck.
Just for a second there.
Armed
Just a second there would have helped.
A nice deep freeze.
This was just full reset. We mentioned it before, right? Like, you're just running in mindlessly. You're gonna lose that. Now you have you and your support, you and Jeff. You guys have to go all the way back from spawn. Your teammates are, what, like right here? And now it's like get really scuffed because they just get a ton of push for free while waiting for you guys to come back from spawn. This is the thing that this didn't work out this time, but it worked out when you were playing Rocket before with the spawner. Then the situation was obviously different because more people were alive. Now it's just you and Jeff, so you're not gonna 2v6 anyways. Better off just backing off or waiting for one of your other teammates to show up and try to make something happen. But a Jeff and a Luna versus 6 won't make a difference.
Thanks.
Now we're back in a Mantis and you have a new crosshair.
Feeling sharp.
Interesting.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee.
Personally, I don't think Mantis was the solution to your problems here because you have less heals now. You already had a Jeff, and now you have a Mantis and a Jeff. It's the same problem as a Rocket and Jeff.
Us against the world.
We are undefeatable.
I'm surprised you got away with that.
I am strengthened by the
Hey, it works.
I am ready to put on a show.
armed and dead again.
Yeah, wasn't that good of an ult. Like I said, surprised you got away with that, and then they punish it by using just ult stacking against you afterwards. You're not healing that guy. He needed heals for a while there. There they come.
Against the
But
world.
By the
tip for damage boost, Magneto here. He got him, but it would have helped a lot. Mostly because you're working with, like, they're like, what do you call the flex supports in Overwatch terms? They're not main supports. You have 2 flex supports, no main support. You're lacking that consistent healing that your teammates need. Yes, you have a defensive ultimate, which is good, but you don't have nearly the same consistent heal or even burst heal that the other heroes provide. Plus, since you swapped off the Luna, your Jeff is worse. He doesn't have the team up anymore. I don't think necessarily you're forced to play around what your Jeff is doing, but it helps. It's a worthy mention. Hero selection is a large part of the game, sadly. Yeah, that sucks. One small tip for Luna, by the way, that I've found myself doing is I shoot until I have to reload, and then what I do is I actually use my shift if I need even more health. More heals instead of reloading.
Thanks so much.
It's a tiny combo that stops someone from dying after you have to reload. Again, no snowflake up on anyone. You're removing a ton of valuable heals. And especially when you're the only... Oh, you have a cloak now as well instead of the Jeff, which is good, but...
A nice deep freeze.
Yep, that was a good call. I'm trying to think, like, that was a hard decision you had to make. Am I gonna go left or right here? Your support was right next to each other. If you guys would have sustained each other, maybe you would have survived. But you got the bubble here. So you could probably have turned and helped the cloak and you could have sustained it together. Instead, you kind of just walked off and got completely detached from your team. And then you both died. Maybe nitpicky. Obviously, your teammates weren't anywhere near you guys. But sometimes, you know, sometimes it's just gonna be the 2 supports. You gotta help each other out. That's perfect. You gotta... Wait, no, never mind. Still no E. You have not used your E this game at all. Or this round. You used it last defense.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
I find it funny you're doing some of the things I'm thinking I would do when I was playing. Even though it's not necessarily always the best idea. I think going for the freeze here, like, go for the Hail Mary. I do think though you still don't have an E and a teammate, and a lot of your teammates need healing. So your focus is a bit weird here. The repositioning wasn't necessarily terrible, but it did open a window where none of your teammates would get healing. Now you're -1, you're even, are you? No, you're actually, yeah, you're even now. So they're down a healer. But you're disconnected from your team. They're on the left and the right. Everyone's just split here. This is chaos. Like, you need a full reset here. Either you need to like call it or just back off at this point. Don't let us fall apart. This is not it. This is not the decision. Oh no. Okay, well at least you didn't die to that, but imagine if you had a Luna ult right there. Imagine if you had a Luna ult right there when he popped his Hela ult, instead of just standing on it. Well, you got 12 seconds of invincibility for you and your teammates, and you give it to yourself and the Strange. Sure, it's good to not let them get mileage, but sometimes you have to make a decision, or like push. But sometimes you gotta make that call. Do you want him to push, or do you want him to like end? Because you open up the chance for him to end this now, because it costs you so much. Losing a defensive ultimate. Also, your cloak hasn't ulted, which I think is bad. But you also didn't have a full fight there. At the start, maybe, but on the second point after that. Yeah, Strange's not even there. You're frontlining as a Luna. If you want to get your ult here, again, you're not really full. You're not a full team here, but if you want to get your ult here, you could have asked your tanks, just frontline a little bit, take damage, and you can like heal off of them. Or something like that. But frontlining here is risky. You can die for it very easily. All you guys to do is been far back to begin with, though. Like, you guys are having a hard time, but I'm seeing a lot of desperation plays. But like, just with a little bit of coordination, a little bit of like more focus, maybe. You didn't have to do that. Maybe you didn't have to be playing from behind. Like, you're not playing to win, you're playing not to lose. Which is a great saying. I'm not writing any notes, but I said what you need to. Yeah, just full reset more. Cut your losses. Use your E more on Luna. Well, you got the notes there. That was Maffens. I hope this was insightful for you. Again, in general, it's a lot of macro missing, but I gave you some examples from the gameplay. For Luna, you need to use your abilities more in general, especially your E. In general, for all heroes you play, your APM is a bit low. You gotta work on just using your abilities more. Try to get more familiar with the heroes, what they do, how your cooldowns feel, and you'll get more results.